Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of The Woggers Way. I'm Uncle Brian with Woggers General Services in Las Vegas, Nevada, and today I'm going to show you how to change out the cartridge in your Mixet style tub and shower control. Now, if your control in your tub or shower kind of looks like this, well, then you have what's known as a Mixet style control. Now, Mixet is a brand name. It's a two-piece control where you have a knob in the front that turns the water on and off, and then a temperature control behind the knob, which, well, controls the temperature, by turning it left or right. Now, instead of the plastic temperature control like you see here, you may have a metal one that looks more like this. Either way, they're the same. And if the knob or the temperature control, or both, are hard to turn, or maybe doesn't shut the water off all the way, or won't turn the water on, or maybe it's leaking like this one, well, then it's time to change out the cartridge. And it's a fairly easy process, and I'm going to show you how to do it the right way, the easy way, and the Woggers way. The tools you'll need are a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and some plumber's grease. Oh yeah, you're also going to need a new cartridge, obviously. Now, you may also want to change out your handle set if the existing one is broken, or maybe it's just old and icky looking. Icky being a professional plumbing term. Now that you have all the parts and tools, let's jump into it.
The first thing you need to do is turn off the water to the house. Now, there was no main shutoff valve at this house, so I had to shut the water off at the meter. Whatever your situation is, you just need to make sure to shut off the water supply to the house. Then relieve the pressure in the pipes. Here, I opened a hose bib outside. Now, you can open a faucet if you prefer. Just try to open something that's positioned lower than the tub that you're working on. This bathroom was on the second floor, so besides a hose bib, I also opened a faucet upstairs. Because of that gravity thing and all. Plus, it allows air into the pipes to help them drain faster. Then open the shower control to make sure that there's no water still coming out. And once the water stops, you can start to take it all apart. Remove the screw in the center of the knob with your Phillips head screwdriver, and then just pull the knob off. Now, with that same screwdriver, loosen the screw on the face of the temperature control and then slide it off also. After you have the handle set off, this is the cartridge. This is the retainer, and this is the trim plate. And this is a shower scrunchie. Yeah, it's not really important for this repair, so I'll just zoom in so that doesn't distract you. To remove the trim plate, there's a screw holding it to the retainer. Here, it's at the 10 o'clock position, but it should be at the bottom, and I'll show you why later. Take that same handy Phillips head screwdriver from before and loosen this screw. Then you can slide the trim plate off. Now, you may have to take a razor blade and cut through the caulking around the base of the trim plate before you can take it off. Next, remove the retainer. You'll use some pliers or an adjustable wrench to take this off. Turn it counterclockwise to get it off. Now, if you've only seen a digital clock and have no idea what counterclockwise means, just remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And don't worry about scratching the retainer. You get a new one with the new cartridge. And just for reference, the cartridge usually does not come out with the retainer. Normally, after sliding the retainer off, you'll grab the cartridge with your pliers and you'll wiggle it back and forth while pulling on it, and followed by a bunch of swearing until it finally comes out. Before installing that new cartridge, look inside the valve body just to make sure there's no remnants of the old cartridge in there, especially if the old one came out in pieces. Then smear some plumber's grease on the O-ring just to make your life a whole lot easier. At the front of the cartridge, there's a small hole on both sides, but one of them will be colored red. That faces up. Then with the red spot facing up, grab the cartridge with your pliers and slide it into the valve body. Now, don't grab the metal stem, grab it on the end of the valve body. Now, you'll probably have to twist it back and forth slightly while pushing it in. Some more swearing may be in order here also.
You know what doesn't require swearing? Tapping on that thumbs up like button and subscribing to my channel. Now, I have a goal to reach 15,000 subscribers by the end of this year, 2025. Now, I'm tracking just a little shy of that, so every subscriber is greatly appreciated. And it doesn't cost anything to subscribe except for just, a tap of your finger. And if you're worried that you'll end up with countless emails from me if you subscribe, don't worry. I won't email you or try to sell you an extended warranty on your car or anything. All it does is say, Uncle Brian, we like the content you're putting out there. Plus, it helps you find my other content a little easier in the future. It also goes a long way in helping me make more videos to keep you entertained. Is this entertaining? Maybe educated is a better description. Now, one thing that not subscribing does is it makes me keep bugging you to subscribe. I seriously do appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you. All right, let's get back into it.
Included with your new cartridge will be 2 brass washers and 1 plastic nylon washer. So put one of the brass washers on first, followed by the nylon washer, and finally the second brass washer. Boy, say brass washer 3 times real fast. Now you can install the new retainer. Coating the threads with plumber's grease not only makes it easier to thread the retainer on, but if you have to remove it in the future, you'll thank me. And when you tighten the retainer down, don't go all Hulk on it. It needs to be snug, but you're not trying to win the strongest plumber competition. Turn the water back onto the house, and don't forget to close that hose bib or any faucets that you opened earlier. Then open the new valve to make sure everything is working properly. Also, check behind the retainer to ensure that nothing is leaking into the wall cavity. If everything is good, clean all the old caulking off the wall. When it's time to install the temperature control plate, the screw on its face tightens down a little plate on the back that has a little tip on it that goes into that red hole on the top of the cartridge. Now first put on your trim plate, and the reason the screw that secures it goes on the bottom is because then the plate will have the H and C for hot and cold properly positioned on the left and right side. Once again, you don't need to crank down on that screw. It's just to keep the trim plate from spinning. Then install the temperature plate, making sure it's secured with that little tip into the hole in the cartridge. And finally put the handle on, secured with the screw on the center. Put some plumber's grease on the screw threads also. You'll thank me later. Finally, recaulk the base of the trim plate to the wall. And yes, this is mandatory. You may not think that water can get between the plate and the wall, but I've repaired more than enough walls damaged by water that seeped in behind the plate into the wall cavity. Then clean up all the excess caulking and your fingerprints. Test to make sure everything is working properly and that when the temperature control is to the left, it's hot, and when it's to the right, it's cold. Now, if you want, you can leave the bottom section of the plate uncaulked to help with any drainage in case water does get behind the plate.
Just some final information before closing this out. Do not use Vaseline or motor oil in lieu of plumber's grease. Petroleum lubricants will deteriorate the rubber seals on your cartridge. Also, if your shower valve is pre-1968, it's going to take a different Mixet valve. And you'll probably have to order it since most places don't keep them in stock anymore. Unless you, of course, you live in an area with a whole bunch of old houses. And finally, if the knob just spins and you can't get the water to come on, or it just spins and you can't get it to turn the water all the way off, the problem may not be your cartridge. It may just be the knob. The knob is just acrylic, which is plastic, and if you turn it too hard, you can break the stops on the back of the knob, so it's just going to spin without turning the cartridge. And a $10 knob kit is a lot cheaper and faster fix than replacing the entire cartridge. So you might want to check that out first. And that's all there is to it. It's really not that difficult. Well, except when everything gets corroded and rusted and you can't get the screws off or the retainer off or the cartridge out. But between Moen, Delta, and Mixet, even though I am not a fan of the Mixet controls, they are normally the easiest to get out. Now, if you found this information helpful, I'd appreciate a tap on the thumbs up like button and subscribing to my channel so I can reach my year-end goal of 15,000 subscribers. I'll also put links below to all the materials and tools used in this video. And if you have had any horror or success stories in changing out your shower cartridge, go ahead and drop a comment down below so we can share in your pain or your victory. I'll also put a link to my product line if you want to get your hands on some Woggers Way merchandise. And if you want to win some free merch, I'll put a link to that also. So thanks for watching. Hey look, there's another one of my engaging videos because I'm sure you have nothing else to do. And there's a link to subscribe. Just saying. Once again, this is your Uncle Brian saying thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Like that one. Bye now.